好，欢迎 come in. I'm so glad to have you back. The best part of eating is enjoying someone's company. Food always tastes better when you share it. When you invite people over, be sure to plan ahead and prepare in advance. If you're relaxed, your guests will be too. The more organized you are, the more you can hang around with your friends. Today, we're going to prepare some mouth-watering food that is perfect for a seafood dinner party. But first, let's visit some friends of mine who are hanging a fish in a fishing village in Macau. The fishermen in Coloane Village on the edge of Macau get up mighty early. Even in this modern age, many of them still fish the old-fashioned way. And they still live in this quiet fishing village, just as their forefathers did centuries ago. Coloane still has plenty of reminders of Macau's colonial past. Even today, old Portugal still lives in many of Coloane's narrow streets. At one end of the plaza is a monument recalling a battle between the government and the pirates who lived here. At the other end, a small, charming church. Right next to the church is a little shrine to the Chinese kitchen god. In Macau, you often find the Chinese and Portuguese heritages standing side by side. What I want to do is introduce you to the fishermen of the Coloane Bay. This is Chef Wang. This is fisherman Graham. And has been a fisherman for almost 75 years. He just turned 42 years old. And in fact, all three of us went out the water and we got this freshwater fish. And we're going to show you how to do this seafood hot pot. We have the fish, we'll clean this up, and then we'll hang this fish up here, look, and then we'll lower it down in boiling water and let it cook. As you eat, you continue to lower it down and you cook, okay? And Graham, you like abalone and shrimp and scallop? Let's put some in.
I love everything.
You love everything? Let's put it in a little basket. And then we're going to put some of abalone in here, and we're going to cook the abalone, and then we're going to cook some clam, okay? Chef Wang told me that you have to cook this fish over high heat for approximately 3.5 to 4 minutes. And then when it's cooked, as you cook, you eat, and you continue to lower it down. You see, that's why you have to start with a big fish. Let me pick up some more, the clam. Graham.
Do you reckon we can make that any fresher?
You know what? You are the fisherman. You know what freshness is.
I know what fresh is.
You know, it's so fresh. You smell it, it doesn't even smell fishy. It smells like ocean breeze. That's what freshness is. Yeah. Very, very good texture. Just the two tests is taste.
That's what we've got in Coloane. Good taste. Good taste.
I ordered banquet. How come I only have one pot?
This is a banquet, Martin. This is a Hakka dish. Hakka people, the gypsies of the sea.
This is the one-pot meal.
One-pot meal.
I ordered 9 dishes.
They're all inside. 1, 2, 3, right the way up to the top, including your prawns on the top.
Oh, that means 9 different items. It's right here in the one-pot meal. First, this is a dry scallop, and then, underneath is a squid and abalone. Whoa, look at it, there's already 2 or 3 things.
Yep.
And then underneath here is, whoa.
Mushrooms.
Oh, look at this, look at this.
Fat choy. Fat choy.
This is fat choy.
Fat choy. Fat choy.
Gong hei fat choy.
Fat choy.
This is the black moss. Fat choy means prosperity.
Prosperity. Yeah.
And of course, 好開心。
好開心。豬皮啊！
豬皮。
有啊！
好開心。
有開心。嗰啲呢度啊，開心。
誒，有開心。如果咧，黃師傅 ，Chef Wang prepare all of these for us. Thank you so much, 黃師傅。And then you can also use this for dipping, right? This is what is this?
This one is your shrimp paste.
Shrimp paste.
Yep.
And this is oyster flavor
Yeah,
sauce.
yeah.
There's all of this from the sea. And of course, this is chili sauce. Okay. Got a tiny bit of these.
Yeah.
And eat this. Hoysam.
Hoysam and happiness. In English, happiness. Very happy.
Very happy. Ginger. Crushed ginger. Ginger is very important. You know, I love Coloane. I love seafood. And I love the one-pot meal. You know why I love one-pot meal? Because you don't have to wash all the plates. All you have to wash is one pot. I'm going to show you. I love seafood so much. That's why the first thing I want to do is to show how to make Shanghai fish fillet in a wine sauce. First, ginger. Crush the ginger, because ginger is very important in Chinese when they make seafood, because it gets rid of some of the fishy odor or aroma. And also it's a very healthy ingredient. To help digestion, increase your blood flow. And also when you have a cold, hey, use more ginger to make tea. The first thing we do is cut up the fish. I have some fish fillet here. You can use any fish, okay? I cut this in half. Cut this in half. And then I cut this in filleted in smaller pieces. Now, depends on how you do it, okay? You can cut it this angle, and you cut it this angle. Or you can cut it like the Japanese sushi chef. You cut it this angle, this way, you can control the thickness. You see? You can cut it like this, and then you can cut it like this. You see? Very nice, big pieces like this. You see this? And then you put them all together, and you marinate this. Always remember, for Chinese cooking, one of the most important techniques is always marinate or coat it. You can call coating or marinate. Longer, you call marinate. Short, you call coating. Always use a tiny bit of salt for fish, for scallop, for shrimp or squid. Use a tiny bit of salt, pepper, and of course, always cornstarch. Okay? Marinate it. Make sure to marinate. Okay? In fact, you can even put a tiny bit of ginger, chopped ginger. And then there are a number of ways you can do this. Now, you can stir fry them, wok sear them, or you can actually oil blanch them. Now, I often see chefs in Chinese restaurant oil blanch. This is what we're going to do. Oil blanch our seafood. What is the advantage of oil blanching? When you oil blanch, the advantage is you literally cook every single piece of ingredient at the same temperature for the same amount of time. So that means uniform cooking. Now, this is how you do it. You hold on to this, check the temperature of the oil. It should not be too high. This is just right. Because you know why? Because you see the bubble, small little bubble just to come out. Can you see the little bubble? That means it is ready. It is not too high. And you put this in. Oh, you see this? Stir this with your chopstick. Now, this is what I'm saying. You cook this, and you take this out. You don't want to cook it for so long, okay? This is ready. You take this out. While you're oil blanching this, you turn this on and use the same oil from here. And then you braise the vegetable, okay? Here, I have ginger and carrot. And I braise it, toss it in. Oh, nice and hot. And then you put green onion, chili, cloud ear, bamboo shoot, and shiitake mushroom. Put them all in here. Let it braise with some seafood broth or clam juice. I have some clam juice here. Look at this. You can use seafood broth. Let's stir. And then you know what? I think our fish is ready. We'll set this aside. Look how beautiful this is. We'll put this over here. Beautiful. Just right. You see this? Beautiful pieces of fish. Oh, toss. And then, because Shanghai style, always use Shaoxing wine. Okay? Almost 3 tablespoons of Shaoxing wine. Because the wine, in fact, I use another 3 tablespoons. That means almost 6 tablespoons. That's 1/3 of a cup. Oh, tiny bit of sugar, Shanghai dish. Always use a tiny bit of sugar. This is beautiful. Braise. And then, finally, look at this. Fermented rice, okay? You can buy them in a jar like this. Look at it, buy them in a jar like this. Fermented rice, this is also very Shanghainese. Use glutinous rice to ferment it. I use also about, 1/4 of a cup. When this is all done, I put the fish back here, and this is so beautiful. Stir, stir, and stir. You know what? The great thing about this is you don't even have to thicken it, because I want the wine sauce and the seafood broth really semi-soupy. Of course, you can always thicken it. And you know what? This thing's almost ready. And we'll set this aside and get ready to serve. Ah, look at this. Beautiful piece. Braise, braise. Let it braise a little bit. Let it braise. The flavor of the wine and the fermented rice really sip into it. Now it's done. We'll serve these. Look at that. So beautiful. So interesting. Still have a lot of juice coming out. And braise it. Oh, I can smell the Shaoxing wine and fermented rice. Shanghai fish fillet in a wine sauce. Dusting the crab. You know, my good friend, Graham Blakey and Chef Wan always hang around the fishing village in Coloane. They love seafood, all kinds of seafood, particularly crab and fish. That's what I'm doing. Show you how to do cracked crab in ginger wine sauce. Oh, I toss this with a tiny bit of mixture of flour and cornstarch, okay? And I toss this and get my wok ready, okay? Put a tiny bit more oil than usual, okay? Because a lot of time chefs like to oil blanch this, but we just wok saute this, okay? Very, very simple. Let's do it together. Put this, toss it in, nice and hot. Oh, shake the flour a little bit before you put it in. Oh, sears the meat and seal the juice. It doesn't take too long to cook. Toss. Oh, toss it and toss it, sears. Beautiful. And then put the rest of the stuff in, okay? Ginger, a lot of ginger. Ginger wine sauce, a lot of ginger, almost 1/4 cup. And then green onion and basil. Oh, 2 to 3 pieces of green onion and almost 10 leaves of basil. And then, oh, this is the most important, wine sauce, white wine. Whoa. Chef Wan and Mr. Blakey, my buddy Graham, love wine. So you can use dry sherry, leftover white wine, and a tiny bit of soy sauce to give that nice color, okay? Or you can actually use a few drops of fish sauce if you happen to have some fish sauce and some oyster sauce if you want. It is a wonderful flavor addition. And then also, to balance the flavor, put a tiny bit of black vinegar. That would be good. And then we cover this up with the shell, okay? Cover it and let it braise for a little while. In the meantime, let me quickly show you how easy it is to crack the crab, okay? Here, I have a crab, you know, along the Pacific coast, whether in Macau or in the West Coast from BC all the way to San Francisco, a lot of this Dungeness crab. That's why it is great to learn how to use crab. You first open this, and then you use a knife or use your hand. Remove all of these lungs. This is no good. This is tasteless anyway. And then you set this aside. Put this over here. Set this aside. And then the leg, this leg is no good. It doesn't have any meat anyway. And also I cut this up. I cut this up. Cut this up. Cut this up. The idea is for the flavor to sip into all of this. It's tastier. And once again, oh, cut this up. Cut this up. Cut this up. Cut this up. Okay. And then you use your knife. You hold onto this and you go like this. See this? Cut one piece, another piece. Look at this. Oh, beautiful. And then you cut this off, and you cut this off, and you cut this off, and you cut this off. Now, how do you crack it? Very simple. You use your knife or use this mallet. You just go, already cracked. Look at this, already cracked. Once again, crack, crack, crack. Put it right over here, okay? And then this, all you have to do is cut this in half. Look at this. Cut this right in half. Very simple. And you put them all together. This is how you crack the crab, okay? Now, when this is all nice and ready, let's check it out. Let's see how our crab is doing. And get ready to serve, okay? Let's check it out. Whoa, look at this. I think I'd love to have more wine. Wow, look at that. This is going to be very tasty, very nice. I'm going to taste it a little bit and make sure it's right. You know what? Just the right flavor, and it's perfect. Beautiful. I'm going to put some juice over here so it looks nice. You know what? The whole thing is done. And we'll put the whole thing right over here. Wow. Look at the sauce. Right before you serve, you put this right over here. You put this back. Oh, you know what? We are going to get ready to put it over here and serve. Now, this is what we have. Cracked crab and a ginger wine sauce. Oh. I'm parboiling some Manila clam for my next dish. Black bean sauce clam with fresh basil. This is also Graham Blakey and also Chef Wang's favorite. It's also my favorite. A lot of clam. And clam, I here wok, a little bit extra oil, and then I use black beans. How do you make black bean? Salted black bean, rinse a little bit, and you crush it a little bit and release the flavor. This is how you do it. Now, don't crush it too much because I want to see the black bean, okay? And then slice a tiny bit of these. Garlic, slice, thinly slice. And I put them all together. And then the first thing I'll do is stir fry the garlic and the black bean first. Get the flavor out. And then put the clam in. Oh, look at this. This is so wonderful. You should be here. It smells so good. Now, I was told this Manila clam was actually introduced by the Filipino sailors in the early days, a couple hundred years ago when they visited the West Coast. That's why they introduced the Manila clam. They call it the Manila clam. Very sweet, very nice. And then you put some green onion and some of this red chili and more garlic and more ginger and some extra green onion. Let it braise a little bit. Use some clam juice or just broth. I love it. Let it braise a little bit, okay? And then always remember to use a tiny bit of wine, a little touch of wine, a little touch of soy, add the flavor, okay? And also, for those who love hot and spicy food, how about some chili garlic sauce? How about some sweet chili sauce? Add some sweetness to it, okay? Now, why I'm braising this? I'm going to show you something. Here is black bean, okay? This is black bean. You buy them in a little bag like this. You can tell it's black bean. You rinse it. I'm going to come over here and rinse it with a tiny bit of water, okay? Rinse it, rehydrate it, partially rehydrate it a little bit, and then you use your knife to crush this, okay? Crush this, you're ready to use. Now, how do you make black bean sauce? You cut up some of these, and you press this, and you put it over here. Push extra garlic and ginger, okay? Put extra garlic and ginger right here, okay? Mix them all up. Mix them all up. And then you add white pepper, wine, soy sauce, and a tiny bit of sugar, and you just cook it up in a little saucepan, okay, like this. Then you can make your own black bean sauce, okay. Sometimes they also use a tiny bit of oyster sauce into it, or even fish sauce. Just let it cook. If you don't have time to do this yourself, after you make all of these, you put in a little container, okay? Oh, I think it's put in the fridge. It will last for several months. This is ready. So we're gonna get ready. Always remember to stir your cornstarch, okay? Make sure you stir your cornstarch. Now, I would like to add the basil and the chili in towards the end because I don't want to overcook them. I got the flavor out and the color and not ruin the texture. I want to have some nice green color to give me nice look. Look how beautiful. This is basically done. Oh, I think I like to have some extra Thai basil. Green, purple stem. Green, purple stem. And when this is done, you take it over here. I'm going to show you. Oh, toss, toss, and toss. And I put it over here. This is so beautiful. And of course, for extra color, always remember, put it right here. Some extra green onion, put it right on top. You know what? In case you don't have time to make your own black bean sauce, go to the store and buy them, okay? Here is what we have here. Black bean sauce clams with fresh basil. You and your friends will love all this seafood. Then after you have eaten, you can play my favorite party game, pin the cleanup on the guests. I hope to see you next time. Remember, if Yan loves seafood, so will you. 再见。